Good morning and welcome to Namaste today, an absolutely groovy way to start your day. I'm your heartfelt host and the Sensei to some serious joy, Christopher Witecki. This audio blogcast is for Wednesday, July 19th, 2017. Welcome back, my friend. Namaste. Well, today the ocean currents will pick up their speed. Step 27 rules today. The sun is conjuncting Mars. That means it's emotional go time. In today's zodiac weather, I'll talk you through the planets and tell you where to focus on. But first, I'd like to continue with our three-part series. Go steep yourself some tea, and let's have our daily tea time. Hello, my friend, and welcome to our tea time. Today's tea time topic is part 2 in a three-part series, Masters of Emotion. As we go through these final steps of Cancer, we're putting the cherry on top to mastering our emotions. And as I've described before, we are preparing to create some serious joy. There are many factors in the outer planets that show the human race has a window of opportunity for manifesting their heart's truth, their heart's desires, their greatest serious joy. Well, in that capacity, we have to set up the appropriate whoopee cushion. We need the appropriate skills of emotional mastery in order to sustain that light and that joy. Yesterday, I spoke about Step 26 Cancer and how this was a master of emotion because a person with Step 26 or a Step 26 Cancer in particular is one that can define what is ground zero of balance. And because they understand emotional balance, they can balance all sorts of people, situations, events outside of themselves. Today is what I consider the second master of emotion, which is Step 27 Cancer, and that is the ruling step of this broadcast day. Step 27 Cancers, if you know one, is an emotional master of action. These are the souls that can remain calm in chaos. These are the souls that can keep it together and make the right call at the right time or take the right action at the right time. And in managing our own emotions, Step 27 Cancer is a vital step. I would say that 9 out of 10 times when people do something they regret, if they take an action they regret, say something they regret, which is taking an action with your voice, do something they regret, it's always because they were incapable of managing the emotion inside of them before they acted out. So in other words, a lot of people act out not because they have issues with the person or the situation, but because they don't know how to manage their emotions and keep themselves from acting out. Now, that said, today is a day where you may very easily act out if you don't follow the principles of Step 27. Step 27 personalities, because they are masters of emotion and also intuition, that's what the 7 is in the 27, they tend to be in very high-pressure emotional jobs in life. So, for instance, when you see like a soccer goalie who is sitting there waiting for the ball to be kicked into their goal, constantly on emotional edge, that's a Step 27. Or an athlete that's pushing themselves to new emotional heights, that's Step 27. Or maybe an air traffic controller that's basically having to feel all these things in the sky and make sure none collide, probably Step 27. A ninja or any type of trained killer would probably be Step 27. Any kind of hunter that's out trying to hunt in the woods, that's Step 27. I'd say an opera singer, someone who has to belt out emotion at the exact coordination with the music, that would be Step 27. But probably my favorite idea of Step 27 is Yoda. I bet Yoda is a Step 27 something in the zodiac. Now, the magic of step 27 is literally how it's constructed. First, like I said yesterday, you have to be on top of how you feel, step 2. You have to be in touch with how you feel. You have to have your feelings centered, because if your feelings are disrupted, if you're not well managed, if you're not well supported, then you may not get a clear read on the next step number, which is 7. 7 is I sense. So really, step 27 people stand in this kind of inner meditation where they're constantly listening to their own feelings and their own senses. That's why a goalie can be a good goalie at step 27, because she can feel and sense where she can feel her body and sense where the ball's going to be at the same time. And when the 2 and the 7 come together, when you feel it and you sense it, then you net 9. You take action. And that, my friend, is the master step of action. Step 27 is a Grandmaster 9. It is the absolute secret to how masters take action. A master only acts when he or she both feels it, step 2, and senses it, step 7. So in our discussion of creating that emotional whoopee cushion, or in our discussion of the 3 steps you must master to master your emotions, yesterday, step 26, defined how we find our peaceful center, how we find our calm, what our ground zero is. Today, step 27 defines when we should take action on an emotion or not. So today is really about discipline. I challenge you to find your net 9 inside of you. Before you take any action today, before you go to the bathroom, before you go pick up the kids from work, before you do anything, ask your feelings, how do they feel about it? And then ask your psychic side, do you sense it's correct? Now, this is a discipline. This is a disciplinary step, one that takes practice in order to master. You have to practice this. And I myself, who is working to be a step 27 Aries, by the way, I practice this whenever I can. Yes, I forget to check my feelings sometimes. Yes, I forget to check my sensory perception. That's why I make lots of mistakes, okay? So I'm not saying that I myself have mastered it. I'm saying, as someone who wants to master emotion, one of the key steps is step 27. That we learn to constantly listen to our feelings and constantly listen to our psychic state of awareness. That is the mastery. And that will keep us from overreacting. That will keep us from underreacting. If you are meant to speak up, if you are meant to say something, if you are meant to do something, you check your feelings, they say yes. You check your senses, they say yes. What more of a green light do you need from the universe? And today, that principle may actually change something in your life. In fact, this is a good segue to your zodiac weather. So we're going to talk about in your zodiac weather the planets and why step 27 today is vitally important. So without further ado, let's take a look at today's moods and your zodiac weather. This zodiac weather is for Wednesday, July 19, 2017. And my global forecast for planet Gaia is sunny and hyperactive today. Step 27 rules the day. Mars conjuncts the sun, and the moon in Gemini may make things frantic. Let's take a look at the planets. Well, friends, if Cancer emotion is considered water, today is a day where the water may boil. Step 27 rules the day, which nets a 9. That means this is an ego-based emotional day. One's ego and emotion are working together. This is the day where people usually muster up the courage to face certain feelings, particularly feelings they were afraid of facing. So on the one side, this is a very positive day. You'll feel you have the strength and the determination to move forward. On the negative, this might be a bit of an overdrive. The sun is not only at step 27, but it's conjoining Mars, the ruler of net 9 himself, which is at step 29, Cancer. This means that whatever we are pushing forward with today, whatever actions we are taking, it will feel like our emotions may be pushed to the edge. They literally are being pushed to the edge. But remember, emotions are flexible. Emotions can be nurtured. Emotions can get over situations. But that doesn't mean you will feel that way in the moment. In fact, I would step away from any volatile situations or volatile people today, because anyone who's on the edge is very likely to be set off. This Sun conjoined Mars and step 27, this is all about moving things forward. And for some people, that means destroying something that's good. Now, the moon herself is in Gemini and the early degrees of Gemini, which is unfortunate because the early degrees of Gemini is our lower thinking. So our emotions are actually touring our lower thinking as we are considering doing a master stroke. So in other words, this is a bit of a test. You might be easily triggered by your lower negative thoughts, by pessimism, really by the wrong mental motivation. So it's very important to be mindful of your heart's goal. In fact, that's where our mind is. Mercury is at step 22, Leo today. Now, first of all, Mercury in Leo means our thoughts are on our heart. Step 22 means our thoughts are on some sort of breakthrough, that we're looking to break on through to another side. And this other side is a higher level of love, a higher level of joy, a higher level of self-love and self-adoration, which is what we came here to do. We came here to see the magnificence of who we are in the mirror. So today is a very passionate day. That Mercury also grand trines directly into Saturn at step 22. So I wouldn't be surprised if fated occurrences happen today. In other words, it might be fated that Judy or Bob blows up in the office and gets fired. That might be actually fate. And it might have taken this emotional explosion for it to happen. It also might be fate that you were meant to finally speak up in class, or you were meant to finally go register yourself for a license, or you were meant to finally go do something that you were emotionally resisting doing, but you now finally have that gumption to move forward and do it despite your negative lower thinking, despite the thoughts that might circulate. So today is a win or lose, basically. I think the universe wants you to win, but with all this kind of emotional TNT, it could blow up in people's faces if it's not well managed. The real key of today really is your spiritual side, believe it or not. Remember, step 27 is I feel, and the 7 is I sense. That means what our spirit is telling us. And Venus today is at step 16, Gemini, which means we are opening up to, our mind at least has been opened up to the higher path or the spiritual path. So it really looks like today is going to be a very emotional and passionate day. And what's going to keep it from a win or lose is whether or not your thoughts are focused on the lower thinking and the lower vibrations or the higher spirited kind of positive. This would be one day where I would say, I don't care how negative you are, take the high road in the next 24 hours. It will absolutely pay off. Even if you miss the opportunity to tell somebody like it is, or get back at somebody for something, because I think a lot of that pressure will happen. I think a lot of people will be picking fights. Take the higher road. That is you ascending to the next level. And when I say take the higher road, again, I'm saying mentally, okay? Emotions will be powerful. They will be passionate. Today's one of those few days where it's your mind and thinking correctly will keep you from any sort of devastation or turmoil, all right? Or just a horrible fight. That's possible too. So since it's such a Jedi day, for my Serious Joy subscribers, today in your pep talk, I'm going to remind you about some of your emotional sensitivities where you can be triggered, so you can be a little bit more open-eyed at this whole situation. And of course, we're continuing to build that emotional whoopee cushion together in preparation for the new moon. For everyone else, I highly encourage you to subscribe to Serious Joy before Sunday, because as of Sunday, that's when I'm going to begin special programming for people to manifest their together Serious Joy. Step by step, each day in our pep talk, we're going to talk about building up that personal dream and take advantage of the synchronicity of the planets. For more information, visit SeriousJoy.com. All right, friends. Well, I hope you have a go-getter day. You get everything you need and you don't go too far. Listen to your psychic senses, listen to your feelings, and make sure your soul checks off on anything before you take action. I'll be back tomorrow with 24 hours with more. Until then, remember, I love you, and to live, love, be.
Live, love, be.